right at 1 o'clock. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Sumter City Council meeting, October 7th. Appreciate everyone coming out today. We start all of our meetings with a moment of silence invocation and pledge allegiance. Today, Councilman Hasty's listed, but in his absence, Mayor Pro Tem Blasingame will lead us. All that are able, please rise.
Let us pray. Our Father, your silence, you speak to us. We just want to say thank you for this day that you have made. We love you because you first loved us. We're grateful for the opportunity to be your servants. We pray for our beloved city. Thank you for our team members. Thank you for our citizens whom we serve. We ask, oh God, that you bless this gathering today. Remember those who are less fortunate. We are the sick, shut in, and bereaved. Keep us all in your care. In the name we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. We have our minutes from our September 16th meeting. Is there any changes need to be made, or would the council like to approve as written?
I'd like to make a motion to approve as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the record show the minutes are approved as written. Unanimous. Old business boards and commissions, nothing new on that one. Again, like I say every week, just continue to watch what's coming up, coming to expire. Anyone have anything to add? Hearing none, moving to item 2. RZ 25-14, 419 South Lafayette, consider first reading to rezone. Sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. This is a first reading of an ordinance, of a rezoning request 2514 and 419 South Lafayette Drive. This actually came before you on September 2nd, and public hearing occurred, but the first reading was deferred until this meeting. So this is a request to rezone a 0.15 acre parcel from general commercial to general residential with the purpose of putting it back on property. Property before you in red is at the corner of South Lafayette Drive and Royal Avenue. Site is partially wooded. It's a small corner lot in the South Sumter area. Current zoning is GC. It's adjacent to GR, General Residential Request District, to the rear. Property is within the priority commercial corridor planning area. That's the future land use designation. Rezoning a single parcel to a residential district for this purpose, staff's determination conflicts with the property. Just going to go through some street view imagery of the area. And this would be the lot in question, and this is some of the surrounding areas of the block where this site is located. There's a mix of single-family residential housing, and there is some manufactured housing in this block. And this is outlined on this graphic with yellow where it says SF. That's the location of current single-family detached housing, and then red is where the manufactured housing is. Planning Commission did recommend approval of this request at their August meeting, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, sir. This is the one I recall. Anyone have any questions for Jim? It's that commercial corridor, just that one piece with the rezone. Any questions for Jim? Last call. Is there a motion to consider first reading?
So moved.
Have a motion? a second. The discussion, we had discussion, so it's, remember, I guess, Jeff, can you pull that up? Just remind council, it's a general commercial corridor, one of our main corridors in the community. So all of that is, so it'll be, of that entire general commercial priority area, there'll be one general residential with a potential, mobile home on that parcel, that corner.
Well, I thought the agreement was that there would be no mobile home to be placed on that piece of property manufactured. The different code that we had talked about.
Well, what I can say to that is that the reason for the rezoning is to GR, is to expressly put the manufactured home on there. If it remains PC, you can, under our general commercial district, you can actually build a single family detached building on the property, not the zoning code. You cannot put a manufactured home on property in GC.
Okay, so that falls under what we're talking about now,
Correct,
right?
correct.
Because to me, it doesn't look like that property's big enough to put a decent sized commercial building on it.
That would,
Because of there.
I would agree, there would have to be some land simply there.
Yeah, and I guess Jeff, you go to the aerial, and it's just potential thinking ahead for future growth. I guess we don't come out any further than that. It's a few vacant parcels. I guess there's one single family stick-built home there. And like I say, long term, I know there's just some talk of redoing that corridor to where, because across the street is a commercial, it's hard to see, I think, it's commercial businesses operating across the street from that.
Yes, the west side of this is commercial, on the west side, this section of Lafayette Drive, in this block, the east side is currently of residential nature, but the future plan calls for it to be, it's a commercial corridor, and the zoning reflects that.
Councilwoman Kennedy, I agree with you, it'd be hard to do anything, it's just if someone wanted to try to piece those together and create another shopping center or something one day.
And wasn't it also mentioned in the last meeting that it was a certain year, like something like after 2015 could not be placed on that property? It would have to be a fairly new.
The city currently has a 20-year, age range for manufactured homes, so you can't bring in a manufactured home that's older than 20 years. And with some certain design criteria as well. That's correct.
Mr. Crowe?
I know Councilman Hasty's not here. I know the reason why it was put off, he was gonna meet, I think, about this issue. I don't know if we heard back from him or not. I don't know if that impacts what council wants to do.
I just hate to take a corner lot for a general commercial area. If you're gonna have commercial development in that community, the corner lot would be critical for, commercial development. If we change it to residential, that would, hurt that card.
Okay, then I would like to withdraw.
Well, so we have a motion and a second. So, Mr. Crowe, I guess help me with, we have a motion and a second on the table, can we do that, or we just need to vote it up or down?
If you, withdraw the motion, it just rolls over the reading, the possibility of reading rolls over to the next meeting on the agenda.
Okay, so
We
right now,
have to dispose of it.
so right now we have a motion and a second on the table, we're in discussion, so.
But I would like to withdraw the motion, since we haven't heard back from Mr. Hasty, and I do remember now in the last meeting, he was gonna get back with us, and I haven't heard anything.
Can we do that?
Yes, sir.
You can, or
Yes.
we can? So do we have to amend, or do we help me through the protocol on this?
Motion and, whoever made the second could make the motion and see the second.
All right, so, for the record, Councilwoman Kennedy would like to withdraw her motion, to consider first reading. Does anyone else have a motion?
I make a motion we defer, we hear from Councilman Hasty.
So Shaw makes a motion to defer Councilman Hasty until we need to put a date on that next meeting.
Yeah, next meeting.
So we have a motion, is there a second?
Well, I'll second it.
Kennedy seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show that deferred, for first reading again to the following meeting, the second meeting in October. We're clear, we have all that, Sam, we got that, okay, thank you. All right, yes, sir.
Some kind of turn that down, cause I'm like a cold, and it's gonna help me here.
Mr. Owens, can you help us with that?
I have
Yes, sir, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Mr. Owens is on it. You'll never lose that job, Howard. All right, item 3, RC 25-15, 3241 Westfield Road.
Mr. Mayor, council members, this is a request for Gregory Guger. This was heard for first reading at the last meeting on September 16th. A public hearing was heard, but action was deferred for first reading until this meeting. So this is a request from Gregory Guger. This is his authorization for the property owner. It's a request to rezone a plus or minus 2.2 acre portion of a larger tract from R15 to general commercial. Purposes of which would be to construct a Dollar General merchandise store. The property is in red on the map before you. It sits at the intersection of Champs and Westfield Road. It is across from the Sumner Ski Building. It's also adjacent to several residential, single-family residential neighborhoods, Trailwood and Kelvin Patrick Drive. I'm sorry, the name was immediately forgetting it. So here's some aerial imagery. Currently, the site has a single-family residential dwelling on it. Zoning is R15, as well as all surrounding zoning being R15, except for a portion of land to the south of Whitefield Road, which is a conservation protection zone. So the applicant does desire to rezone this 2.2 acre portion to construct a Dollar General merchandise store. This use is permitted in the GC district. It's conditional use in 2 other districts, but the GC district is the one that he's requesting by reference. Some photos of the area. We talked about this graphic at the last meeting, and this is just showing the distance to other general merchandise or grocery store type uses from the subject property. The property is within the suburban development area of the comprehensive plan. It's not within a priority commercial corridor. We have some general guidance concerning, picking good locations for non-residential type uses. There may be a case that some small scale neighborhood commercial could be appropriate, but a GC designation, staff determines conflicts at this location. We did take that recommendation to the planning commission, who did vote to recommend approval request on 4-2 vote. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have since the last meeting.
Thanks, sir. Any questions for Jeff? Anyone have anything for Jeff on this one? All right. Council, I'd like to take any action, consider first reading.
Make a motion to deny the rezoning request as presented.
Have a motion to deny first reading and rezoning request.
Second.
Shaw seconds. Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show that the request is denied unanimously by council. Item number 4, transfer of property. Consider final reading of ordinance 2884, authorizing the transfer of approximately 211 acres.
Oh, Gary's leaving.
Any updates on that, Mr. McCoy?
No, sir, same as last time, we will, if council does choose to finalize this, we will update you before the actual transaction. Just for economic development reasons, we know that, but we just wanna make sure all the i's are dotted and t's are crossed. So we expect that to take a little bit longer. We're working with the economic development staff, and we'll report back to council before we finalize that.
So So this is just authorizing the transfer, it's not like it's
The
going to happen
transfer.
tomorrow.
We
Right.
won't do the
Yeah.
transfer until the council's reported to.
Gotcha. All right. Any other questions? Yes, any questions, Mr. McCormick? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider final reading?
Make a motion.
Second. Shaw moves, Davis seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Record show final reading carries unanimous. Item number 5, 0825-02, final reading on 2889 cell towers and CBDs at District.
Mr. Mayor, Council, there have been no changes to first reading, and this is just an ordinance amendment to allow for, cell towers as a special exception to approval of the highest level overview with certain criteria as outlined in your staff documents. Have an answer.
Thank you. Any questions for Jim? Hearing none, motion to consider final reading. So moved. Second. Davis moves, Blasenham seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And final reading carries unanimous. Item 6, sale of property, final reading on 2890. Sale of property through the DIP program.
Yes, sir. So these are, in a little while, in the city manager's update, we'll give you an update on those successful requests for proposals and houses that's been built. These are just 4 pieces of property that have not been authorized that would go through an RFP process. I know there's some of those we want to discuss the details of the RFP, but this is just making it, just like the industrial property, making it available. But any that the council would like to talk about before we go through the RFP process, we're happy to do that. If there's anything special.
Any questions, Mr. McCormick? Is there a motion to consider final reading?
Make a motion.
Second.
Shaw moves, Kennedy seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And final reading carries unanimous. 7A, final reading of some lease of property, final reading on 2891. This is regarding the construction of Manning Avenue Bridge and corridor, just a laydown yard for the contractor.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, and council, nothing has changed since then, other than we did negotiate on terms of the lease. And both parties have agreed, our general counsel has looked it over, it was in your packets. And it's agreeable to us, it's agreeable to them, if you all approve them, they're ready to sign.
Okay. Any questions, Mr. Owens? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider final reading?
Move for approval.
Gibson moves. Second. Davis seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And final reading carries unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Owens. Item B, it's been brought to my attention, there's some still questions remaining, outstanding, and that I guess the request was made to pull item B from our agenda and take no action today.
That's correct.
Okay.
And we'll have more information at a future meeting.
Gotcha. Thank you. So we'll skip down to item 8 in new business. Consider first reading, annex 12.3 acres. Sir, Mr. Gore.
All right. This is an annexation request, to annex 12, like you mentioned, 12.83 acres, on Wedgefield Road. This actually includes, land to the north, on West Oakland Avenue. This actually includes land to the north of West Oakland Avenue and land on the south side of West Oakland Avenue. With the intent of doing some future residential development on the south side and reserving the north side for commercial based on staff's understanding of potential plans for this particular property. This shows the current zoning. The zoning is general commercial on both sides except for a small sliver on the south side, which is also R15. It's in the suburban development area, and that's a future land use designation or long range plan, how we want to develop. And this is the infrastructure map, got water and sewer in relative close proximity. Availability to serve would be subject to the determination of the Public Services Department. Staff does recommend approval. subject property is within close proximity to city water and city sewer, and the property is directly contiguous to other properties in city jurisdiction. That I don't have an issue with.
Any questions for Jeff?
Jeff, that, the shaded area, that's the R15 area. The red is GC, the shaded area to the right of that, that's the one that's currently R15.
That's correct.
That's the portion that's marked GR. Okay, I see the back of it. If annexed, would the general residential be annexed as it's currently zoned?
So there's been no request to change the zoning designation at this time, so those zoning designations, as you see on the map, would convert to the city's GC and R15 zone. You know, if a request to change those, it would go through the standard public hearing,
Yeah.
process.
The GR is not coming in on this.
That's correct, the R15 and GC. So, where the red is, and then further to the east, where the light yellow is, it's kind of all highlighted by like a turquoise color, that's the boundary. Kind of better shown than the black lines there on there.
Any other questions? Sure. Anything down your way? Yes, Ken?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion to consider first reading? Is there a motion to consider first reading as presented? I move for approval of first reading. Davis moves. Is there a second?
Second.
Shaw seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Record show first reading carries unanimous. Item 9, have multiple procurement resolutions. Mr. Gettings, 1004.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, this request is for the purchase of a bar screen, one model FT 48 inch severe duty bar screen from Vulcan Industries. This is, a bar screen is on the front end of the wastewater process. It is responsible for moving large solids and debris to protect downstream equipment. This is to replace one that's out of service currently at the wastewater treatment plant at a total cost of $235,596. I'd be glad to answer any questions you have.
Sir, any questions for Mr. Gettings? Mr. Gettings, is this like an emergency repair, or has this one been budgeted? It's been down, you say?
It's down, and so we have 3 bar screens in place. This one's down, 2 are having intermittent problem, so it's an emergency repair. We
Gotcha.
use operating funds, but not necessarily budgeted
Gotcha.
for specifically a budget item.
Any other questions for Mr. Gettings? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider 1004 as presented?
Make motion.
Approve. Second. Shaw moves, Gibson seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And 1004 carries unanimous. Next one. Item B.
Sir, this is for our state, street paving. This is an annual bid that we do for, street paving through C funds each year. And the streets listed are Broad Court, Buttercup Street, Center Street, Dancona, Dunway Drive, Highland Avenue, Masoncroft Drive, Pear Street, Red and White Street, Russell Avenue, Thelma Street, West Oakland Avenue. Note that doesn't necessarily mean the entire street of each one, but a portion of each, at the minimum. Bid opening was held on Tuesday, September the 16th. We had 3 bidders. The low bidder was Steve Cleary and clearing, grading, and paving at a total cost of $928,836. We do recommend approval, with that contract, and be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Any questions for Mr. Gettings?
Yeah, the funding for these street paving, I guess, does that come from the state through the county, and because the roads are in the city, it ends up coming to us and we do it, or?
Yes, sir, it goes through C-Fund, funding or gas tax, and so the state gets a certain portion, the county gets a portion, and the city gets. We manage the state paving portion that's in the city. They select the streets in combination with where we've done utility cuts and that sort of thing. But it is their portion, the state portion of the C funds that this comes out of.
Any other questions?
So on Highland, can you tell me what part of Highland will be done? Is it the part that was cut, repaired?
Correct. There was a portion of Highland that was done recently that won't be repaid. This will be the section that had the utility cut that had come up recently.
Any idea of a timeframe?
The way these contracts, they have 9 to 10 months to do it, and so they may do it next week, or maybe 9 or 10 months from now, but they have that window of paving that they do, that they have open, so, but there is a end date, but it may be early, maybe late, but we don't.
I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gettings, they don't really even communicate to you, they just have that window, and they'll just poof, pop up. I remember just on Sunday, one time, they were paving some street.
Speed Paving is a bit smaller outfit, they're a little better at communicating, but C.R. Jackson, Palmetto, they're doing big contracts and they squeeze it in different ports of town, but.
You don't have to know how many miles that is, do you? It's not many.
I do not have that information, but I can get it, but.
Well, I'm just curious, just for the sake of the public, we see, I mean, you know, kind of these little bits and pieces of roads, it's not a lot, it's just under $1 million, so that's.
Right. We have paid, I do have a report from, since 18, we paid 10.7 miles of road, just to give you an indication, so, you know, small portions.
Gotcha. Any other questions? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider 1005 as presented?
So moves, yes.
Second.
Last moves, Kennedy seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimous. Item C, 1006.
So this is a resolution here, or request here for City Street resurfacing. Streets include Branch Street, Cleveland Street, East Oakland, East Red Bay, H Street, Hatfield Street, Paper Birch Avenue, portions of Pepper Ridge subdivision, Rainy Lane, Terry Road, and West William Street. This was also bid on September the 16th. We had 4 bidders on the City Street portion, with Steve Clearing, Grading, and Paving also low on this contract at $630,964. We recommend moving forward with this contract. We're gonna be glad to answer any questions you have.
Any questions for Mr. Gettings? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider 1006 as presented? Is there a motion for 1006 on City Street paving, resurfacing?
So moves, man.
Lassiter moves. Second. Gibson seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? And 1006 carries unanimous. Item D, 1007.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, this is a request to purchase one 2026 MV 607 dump truck for water and sewer department. Very similar to the picture there. The dump truck will have higher size than what you see here, but same type of truck. And this comes from Carolina International Trucks out of Columbia, who is the state contract vendor. And purchase price here is $125,320.43. It's a budgeted item, and we're glad to answer any questions you have on that.
Any questions for Mr. Gettings? Motion to consider resolution 1007 as presented. I move for approval. Davis moves. Charles seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 2007 carries unanimous. Item E, 1008. Same thing?
Same thing, this is the same truck, same purchase, same, vendor, but for public works as opposed to water and sewer. Same price, $125,320.43. Same state contract, number and vendor. Be glad to answer any questions.
Thanks, sir. Any questions for Mr. Gibbons?
So Michael, is this replacing a truck or is this an addition?
They'll replace, these two are replacements, the third one that we haven't got to yet will be a new purchase, but these two are replacement trucks.
Michael, all of these vehicles, there was like a $50,000 credit. Was that just because we're buying it as a government?
State contract vendor, yes, sir.
Contract.
Yes.
That was more than a third of retail value.
Yeah.
Good value.
Yes.
Any other questions? There a motion to consider 1008 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Kennedy moves, Shaw seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 1008 carries unanimous. 1009.
Yes, sir. This is the purchase, again, 2026 MV 607, but this is a flatbed purchase, also for Public Works Department. Same vendor, Carolina International Trucks. Price is $127,873.68. Again, the state contract pricing. I'll be glad to answer any questions you have on that.
That was a little bit more, wasn't it?
It's a little bit more.
$1,000 more?
Yes.
Couple thousand?
Just a different bed configuration.
Gotcha. Any questions, any other questions?
Make a motion for approval.
Second. Have a motion and a second, Shaw and Davis. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 1009 carries unanimous. Item G, 1010.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, this is for, the full design, proposal for the Bobby Richardson Sports Complex, through Fit Fields, which is a vendor that we have been working on some preliminary design on this park, as well as we work with Bobby Richardson, with Riley Ballpark. The Fit Fields proposal here is to complete the design at a total cost of $1,199,108. And be glad to answer any questions you may have on that design proposal.
Thanks, sir. Any questions for Mr. Gibbons?
Build it, that's just design.
Just the design.
But it's all encompassing, it's the entire park, I mean, it's.
Buildings, fields, yeah, all of it. Completion.
I saw in the packet, and I was looking for it now, but I can't find it right this moment, but we were going to investigate shade. At what point will we know that we have thoroughly investigated shade enough that we're able to install it?
Well, fortunately, I spent a lot of time at the ball field, so shade is very important. We'll make sure we got plenty of shade.
And maybe we need to call it safety features instead of shade, because then we don't have to worry about the field behind us.
Both are valuable, both are very valuable. So.
What is 50% and 90? Is this some document, some design just gonna be to the 50% stage?
So what it does, at that 50% stage, sort of, you take a pause there to review documents to see where you are pricing wise. And then at 50%, you may have to back up and make some adjustments, so we don't get it 100% and have an over budget project. And so it's sort of a pause in the design to see about it, but same thing with 90 before you finish the drawing.
Any other questions?
One more thing, not a question, but something I'd like to add. I always look a little closer when I see that we're spending money with someone that's not from Sumter. But as I read through the packet, it was encouraging to see the number of Sumter residents and Sumter businesses that are engaged in this project.
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Gibbons? Hearing none, is there a motion to consider resolution 1010 as presented? Move for approval. Second. Davis moves. Last name seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Resolution 1010 carries unanimous. Item Thank you, sir. This County Council reports. Anyone have anything they'd like to share for the good of council and good of the community?
Mr. Mayor, Council, I'd like to start off by expressing my sincere thanks and appreciation on behalf of my family and the passing of my dad in Oconee County. He was funeralized on this past Saturday. I want to thank the mayor for the beautiful letter endorsement which was read at the funeral, and the beautiful floral arrangements that was sent to us on behalf of the city. Thank you so very much, and we ask for your continued prayers. You live to be you live to be 98 years old, so thank God for a long life, well lived. I do want to say thanks to those who came out for the ribbon cutting at West End Park on Oakland Avenue. The mayor and several council members were there. Wonderful turnout. The item gave us good coverage, and also the ribbon cutting for the
The track trails.
Track trails.
Yeah, the program.
That was great. Happy to participate in all of that. So, and we always, the items here, but we always get good PR from our items. Thank you so much for letting the citizens know that we are trying to do some positive things in this community, helping to improve the quality of life for all of our citizens. And I'm proud to be a part of that and work with this team. We always say team something. So we're working together. The mayor also sent a letter to Mount Zion Baptist Church. I'm privileged to serve as the pastor. We celebrated 132 years, our church anniversary on the fourth Sunday in September. Out of those 132 years, I've been the pastor 41.
I'll say, you haven't been there the whole time.
Actually, we had 13 pastors. I'm the 13th pastor. And the last three, including myself, served 104 years. I've served 41. My predecessor served 37. His predecessor served 26. Yeah. So they don't change pastors often.
That's good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone, Joe?
Just for you that have come, thank you for coming. And just know that, even though we just spent a lot of money, about $3.3 million, that we don't do that without really thoughtful consideration and appreciation for our community and our taxpayers. It is something that we, that all, I know I speak on behalf of all city council members, we don't just spend your money without much thought. And it does sometimes pain me to think how expensive some things are today. But that's something that we're careful of. Just thank you for your support.
Sir, anyone?
Yes, Mayor, we had the honor of attending BD 55-year anniversary in Sumter on last Friday. Great turnout, great event. I didn't realize how powerful BD was in the United States, but I think they're in the top 3 medical plants in the nation. It was awesome. I met a young man who has been an employee there for 55 years. And he got a standing ovation. That was awesome. Also on Saturday, I attended the EC Festival and Parade. Great turnout. The kids were amazing. You had your tent out there as well. I've heard nothing but great things about it, so great weekend for the city of Sumter.
Mayor, one other.
Yes, sir.
Since we do have, I know at least two people left from, that probably signed this petition in here. I really want to thank you. That's how it's supposed to work. And, I appreciate the effort that went into this, even though, as I said in the beginning, I usually like to support progress and development. But this is how it's supposed to work. Now, while they're still here, I would question one signature in here if y'all look through it. I don't think Donald Trump signed
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Kenny, anything down that way?
Yes,
Just to piggyback on Councilman Gibson, Kennedy was at the BD, they were celebrating 55 years, and I had to scratch my head, I figured there was a reason why, but it was kind of obvious once it was pointed out, it was because of COVID.
Yeah.
You know, they couldn't celebrate 50, which is always a big milestone, because of COVID back then, so it was really good to have folks from, to even me see some, former plant managers I hadn't seen in 10 years that rolled them down. And the president, CEO from the corporate, you know, came in from New Jersey as well, commented on sweet tea and barbecue. Yeah, talk about that, so, and welcome to South Carolina. But anyway, big weekend, can't wait to hear the numbers from the STEAM Festival, Eat STEAM Festival. Sure it seemed well attended, for our booth and just in the city's efforts and everybody that helped coordinate that. Saw Leopard running around with walkie-talkie, helping direct traffic, keep things moving. Chief, same thing with the police department, all the efforts that goes into blocking roads and making all that happen. Thank you, Mr.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I didn't get a chance to speak to you and Kennedy Gibson, but I did make a cameo appearance at the BD.
I apologize, I did see
I
you
just
sneak
grabbed the
in.
plate to go because we was on the road, on the way to Sunday.
No, we appreciate the efforts coming by. I did see you pop in, I apologize. Yes, sir. All right. City manager report.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, members of council, real quickly on the demolition side, we've got some positive news there for you. We continue to work with the Clyburn grant, but happy to say that we finally landed the Graham grant. So we've got that's gonna be taken off. We've already met. Just a reminder, just like the Clyburn grant, there were properties that were listed out, so we gotta work on those properties first. So we'll, Lord willing, see a lot of action real soon and continuous action. So really happy to finally get that out there. Other than that, we've got your August financials, and at your next meeting, you'll get the September financials. Any questions at all, please let me know or Jonathan know. And then, last meeting, I think Councilman Hasty actually asked for an update of some of the lots that we've done a request for proposals for residential redevelopment. Just a reminder, we some time ago had the neighborhood improvement grants where there's some structures that needed to be demolished, and we've worked with our council on governments and a lot of work within our city departments like planning to redevelop neighborhoods that have been with the city for quite some time. So what we wanted to do real quickly was Ms. BJ Reed's gonna come up and walk you through what we've done in those so far to date, and it'll have before and after pictures, which I really appreciate her bringing this to it. By the way, she's handled each and every one of the requests for proposals with an expanded team, so I'd like to thank her for all of her work to get this done so far.
Mayor, City Council, thank you so much for this opportunity. Prior to this slide coming on, the top of the slide for demolition said Sumter Pride. So I feel like what we're getting ready to see is Sumter Pride realized. So there's a reason why we did some demolition, and then we can see our first property that we did, 507 West Oakland. You see the before picture, once it was demolished, and then the after picture. You see who it was awarded to, what it was sold for, and then for that property tax, that is the property tax, that is the portion of the property tax that the city, received on here. So that was the first property that we've done. 509 West Oakland, as you can see, that's the before picture, and the after picture, it was sold. And again, that's the property tax that the city has received. We look at 501 Church Street. On this, you can see the before, in the after, that was sold. This is 503 Church Street. We look at 506 Church Street. I don't know if any of y'all have driven through Church Street, but the young man that was awarded this SAR Construction, not only did he do those 3 lots, but he bought lots for himself. So when you go through and look to where you almost go through the entrance to Riley Ballpark, it looks like a totally different neighborhood. And what's even amazing, it's hard to capture it. If you just go on Google Maps, Street View, and pull up the Church Street area from 501 back, and look, and you can pull the dates to 2014 and look at what it looked like before, and then pull it up to what it looks like now, totally redone. So it's amazing what the revitalization is doing, this redevelopment is doing to a community. 42 Loring Drive, or Dingle Street, it's under construction now, it's looking great. On 525 Dingle Street, that property originally was 2 different parcels. Then it was surveyed as one big parcel. Once we went into the RFP process and I was able to work with planning, we're able to put it into 2 parcels. So instead of having 1 residential house on a huge lot, we're able to get 2 residential houses. It's under construction now at 525 Dingle Street and 527 Dingle Street. Again, that's another street, if you've been down recently, between 533, 525, 527, there's some other properties that have been redeveloped on that street. It really is transforming that area. And lastly, we've got 36 Wright Street. That was one property that was originally on our first RFP in 21-22. We removed it from that RFP. We did quit claim deed that to the Sumter County Disability and Special Needs Board. They're in the process of building a residential home on that property now. We then received from the Sumter County Disability and Special Needs Board property 202 Thompson Drive, because that was in the floodplain. It was property that they owned and that they've done to us. All right. Are there any questions from you guys?
That's great. Any questions for Ms. Reed?
Just so proud of what y'all have accomplished. I mean, small changes make big deals.
There's no doubt, and what's amazing is the people that were awarded these properties are invested in their areas, and they want to see Sumter revitalized, which is unbelievable. So.
And if I may, you know, we've, at council's request, to try to assimilate that into the neighborhoods and taking great care to make sure, you saw the before, you know this, but you see the before pictures and they always look so much better in a picture. If you can see them in person, it didn't look quite that nice, the pictures on the left, but you can see how it's very similar, so it fit the culture of the neighborhood, the setbacks. You'd like to thank the developers doing this work, planning, public services, all working together, because it really is making an impact as we redevelop in some of our oldest and dearest neighborhoods. So we'll continue to work as council has asked us to do, and I'm just very happy you see there's multiple groups that are doing this fine work, and we'll continue to put them out in a meaningful way. So they'll just say, here's 25 lots and hope for the best. You can see how we're being successful. So I'd like to thank council for the opportunity to do it. We'll continue to update you as we go along.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
I do have a question. So, how do you all gauge what neighborhoods you go to next? Like, there's some homes in my ward behind Marks College that really need some help, and some houses need to be torn down and rebuilt. How do we target the area that we're gonna start to revitalize?
So in this case, we were able to get a grant some years ago from the federal government, working with the Council on Governments, we had identified, a lot of the type properties you're talking about. The ones we were successful with, then we had to hold those lots for 3 years, our land banking as part of the grant. So we had to buy and demo it, land bank it for 3 years. After 3 years, it made it available to put it back into the public, get it back on the, so to your point, there's demolition in that plan that made us own the lot and then make it available for redevelopment. But we continue to work on the demolition, the Clyburn, the Senators, and also our normal Sumter Pride with what money we get from community development. We got those meetings starting up again in the community. But really, a lot of that goes to private property owners. Like, we can help with the demo, but then we don't have control to put that property out because we don't own it. But anything that we can do, we'll do that, whatever portion of that, if it's demolition or if it's just codes enforcement, just continuing to make it better. And that's what we're working on.
Any other questions? Thank you, ma'am, that's great. And, let's see, Mr. McCormick, so we do need an executive session?
Yes, sir, for, legal reasons.
So the stated reasons on the screen, see that? So is there a motion to go into executive session? Right. Sean moves, David seconds, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're in executive session, we'll step into the back. There is, motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
So, Davis moves, Kennedy seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're in open session. Is there any action like to be taken from the discussion in executive session?
Mr. Mayor, Council, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize General Counsel to proceed as discussed in executive session, concerning the proposed resolution of the Marketplace Spirits, appeal from the zoning board.
So we have a motion
Second.
and a second. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem and second by Gibson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It carries unanimous. Brings us to the end of our agenda. A motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned.